gotta be honest, I'm really struggling as a parent, and I don't know if that's just the phase that we're in as parents, or just I've just come to that realization. So in this video I want to be really, really vulnerable and hope to relate to other parents that have, you know, kind of maybe experiencing this in silence, and I wanna give this, you know, video and just my page in general like a really safe approach, and let you guys know that like this is a safe space for you to like let out and vent without feeling like ashamed or guilty, even if you feel that within yourself. I don't want that to be a place for you here. That's not my intention. Also, I want to set the intention of like I love my child, and that should not have to be justified. Like, I love my child to death, I love her as a human being, but parenting just in general is so incredibly difficult. And can I just say, like, I do generally have a village, not always, I do for the most part have a very supportive village and partner and just a system, but that still doesn't take away the fact that I'm still struggling. Very quick, brief backstory. I have disabilities. My child also has disabilities. They're two completely separate. I do have previous videos going through a little bit more of them both if you're interested. But yeah, I'm really, really struggling. I don't know if it's just, like I said, the phase that I'm in. She's 3.5, nearly 4. She's going to start kindy next year. So I don't know if it's just that, you know, or just, and then there's also other factors. It's not just raising her and just being a parent doing basic needs, it's also like her therapist appointments and any future surgery plans that she might need, and doing doctor's appointments and scans and x-rays, and, you know, keeping up with like her genetic stuff, and there's just so much behind the scenes stuff that I'm having to do. It's a lot of admin work basically that I have to do as her mum, and it's really, really hard to try and balance all of that and also try and look after myself, which is really taxing, honestly. I just want to also say that I did always want to be a mum, and I always wanted to have 2 to 3 kids, right? And that was what my partner and I both decided when we first got together. You know, we'd always kind of said like, yeah, we'll have 2 to 3 kids, yada yada. Then I felt pregnant. That was an incredibly high risk, medically complex pregnancy and birth and NICU and all of that. And then with my disabilities on top of that, it's just a whirlwind of catastrophic just madness, honestly. And it's so hard to juggle. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, I'm now one and done. I physically, mentally, and some of you will go like, oh no, you'll be fine, wait till she's in school, yada. Nah, I'm on the wait list to see an OB to have my tubes and everything removed. Like, I'm that done. That's also been a thing to kind of grieve at the same time. Like, it's a very yin-yang, bittersweet, double-edged sword type of scenario. Like, it's a constant seesaw of just crying when I don't know if you can hear it, but my partner's got her, but it's just so overwhelming. There's so much happening. My thing is I want to be there for her so badly emotionally, but I can't. I'm emotionally spent. I'm physically drained. I'm really, really struggling right now. And I feel so guilty for thinking. I feel so guilty for thinking and feeling any of these feelings, and even speaking it out loud. I feel so guilty. I feel like I'm burdening my child. I feel like I'm adding so much extra trauma to her and to me, to be honest. I'm just really, really struggling. And, you know, I am in therapy. I do EMDR therapy. I do it once a month at the moment. I usually do it fortnightly. But I have to, due to financial reasons, I have to switch to monthly for the rest of the year. And I'm finding that really hard because I feel like I'm just constantly falling back into my old patterns because I'm having to have such long breaks in between processing trauma. And I'm so mean to myself. I just feel like a lot of the time that she would be better off without me as her mum. And by the way, that's not a caveat to me being like suicidal or anything like that. It's just I genuinely believe in myself that I'm such a bad mum in how I treat her and how I sometimes respond to her needs because I'm so drained. And obviously I have such a supportive partner and he's amazing, but there's only so much that he can do, you know. Thank you for staying this long if you have this is probably only going to be a short video, but I just really felt the need to just vent, and just for anyone out there that's feeling this, I validate you, because I'm right there with you. It's been really, really hard. I think, honestly, if I always think about what my life was like before being a mum, and again, I want to reiterate, I love my child. I love her to the ends of the earth. I would literally put a bullet for her. But I don't like motherhood. I also would hate for her to see this one day and think, like, because, you know, she's probably going to see this one day, but I would hate for her to think, to take away from this video, like, oh, mum doesn't love me, mum didn't want me. That's not the case. I love her and I want her in my life. I love her and I want her in my life. I just wish that things were different, and I wish I was different. I wish that I was the mum that I know I want to be, but I'm not. I'm not the mum I want to be. The hardest part is trying to heal yourself. For the first time, really. Like, I've been in therapy for a long time, but EMDR for the first time here. Trying to heal and process and reparent yourself and give compassion to yourself and love to yourself while trying to do that to your child. I think that's the thing I find the most challenging, because I'm trying to put my needs, not necessarily above hers, but I'm trying to prioritize my needs a little bit more. Not necessarily on top of hers, but just trying to balance it out a bit more. But I just don't have control of that, and it's really, really hard. I guess this is more of like a diary entry. I tell you what, it does feel good to get it out. You know, he tells me all the time I'm a good mum, and just, you know, we all have our moments, and that's true. I also truly think that I'm not a good mum. That's just how I feel. I don't feel like I am the mum that she needs. I mean, clearly I am to some degree, because she wouldn't be placed with me if she didn't, but I think for myself and who I am as a person and who I want to be as a person are two very different things. The person that I am is not what I want to be. It's not what I want to give her. But it's been so hard to break that. Sometimes a small part of me is like, you know, what in a parallel universe, what would my life be like if I didn't have a kid? Would I still be a mum? Would she still come in my life just later on? You know, just preference to, I was 26. I was a month before turning 27 when I had her. You know, my frontal lobe had barely just developed, and I had barely healed any of my trauma, and I've only just started this year, so I'm still early on, and I still have triggers and reactions that I do not want to pass on, but I know I already have. And I say every time I have a reaction, I'm like, I've just traumatized her more. I've just made it worse for her. So there's a lot of guilt there. I don't know how else to deal with that and try and do more therapy, but I can't afford that right now. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you all for watching, if you've watched this far. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. And again, this is a safe space to vent, for me and for all of you in the comments. If there are any rude or nasty comments, I'm banning you, I'm blocking you, whatever. I don't want any of that negative shit. I wish you all well, and I hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.